Okay, this is my RCA Victor KCS100B. I tore it apart, or I remember a big glob of RTV or something I had to peel off of that on the plug. Takes a funky cord for this thing. Here's the cord. I don't even know if the cord works. Here's capacitors I took out of it way back when. I should have left this one in it because I had an issue, but not knowing which way positive and negative went. You think you'd pretty well figure that out pretty damn easy, but not for me. So I got the parts here, ready. I'm just gonna clean it out inside. There's a lot of rust in it and stuff. I'm just gonna clean it out. I'm just making a passage of video, so if I'm gonna put this thing aside because I'm working on that what's it called, the Emerson. I got parts ordered for that one. So on this one here, and I also got this chassis I'm working on for that Philco 78 phonograph, and I got this one down there. That one's actually done, pretty much. So what I got going on here is this thing here was broken when I bought it. I'm pretty sure it was this side. I'll take a smell. I think I'll probably smell crazy glue. But I just took a meter from here to here, got continuity, and I also got from ground to here, I got continuity, and from ground I got continuity. So that's okay. I assumed the picture tube I tested, but I'm not sure. I have no notes of nothing. So I just cleaned up this here to use on it. I need one with 3 plus a ground. This is just crazy notes I take. This thing here was shoved in the neck of the picture tube. But what I got going on here is this is it. I never verified this, but I don't know. This is old stuff from a long time ago. How to reassemble it. The 6AU4, that's supposed to be the damper tube, because I think it uses an empty. This here, this is the one I couldn't figure out which way positive negative is. I had the evidence right here because I wrote down a pink number, but actually I think it's actually faded violet. But I got negative towards the pink wire and positive here. That could be, I don't know if I'd trust that information right now. But I had a capacitor that got really, really hot. I know that one guy had a capacitor blow up on him, and I was telling my female friend that, she was filming me. We filmed it, but I think I'm going to delete it. I mean, I didn't blow up a capacitor because I knew what that guy did. And okay, here's the power supply I drew up of it. So that you got your 80 microfarads and 5 microfarads. I think I used a 22 here, and I do have an 82 there. And this here I have a 47, and the other behalf I have a 47. I don't have any 60 microfarads. Even for this radio here, I think I got, this is supposed to be a 16 microfarads and a 16. Obviously, these are added in because this casing is larger and it's different than that one. I can't remember what I stuck in there. I probably put in my notes. These are just laying here. I tested them on my tester. This is the kind I heated up really bad, so I had to throw it out. I bought a good amount of these things during COVID, but them are in here. Oh, they got to replace this. Somebody put a dual replacement in here. I think it was a 20 and a 60. I don't remember what it was, but that's what these two are going to replace, is this one. And I might just put them in that container, but when I do this here, I'm going to just put this back in the 78 player cabinet / whatever. And I got to start doing one project at a time. It's going to be too much BS. So here's what I got going on here. If I Quit shaking here. Put this stuff down. So I did this last night. This stuff is all correct. Got minus, and that goes to the black one that originally went to the capacitor. This stuff is just kind of hearsay right now to test it. So when I tested it last night, I didn't get no picture, nothing, no sound, nothing. But I had to figure out a few things, because when I was working on this, I was just dead blind on everything. I have to find out what that tube is for. So what I'm interested in on this thing right now, obviously, is putting this on that terminal thing, and I'll have to drill into here and put a proper hole, a terminal. Put a terminal. This I think is a cathode bias, you know, the audio output, I think, but I haven't verified it. I just figured at 25 volts I don't need it to test this stuff. I'll watch it be on the cathode, the vertical oscillator output side, and vertical will not work without it. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna probably maybe get into here or drill a new one and put this terminal strip in there that I just cleaned, and just have that standing here. I might restuff the capacitor, I might not. So that's, you know, I'm just gonna put this thing away until I get the Emerson done and that Philco radio done and different things done, I think, instead of having so many cabinets open, losing parts, and it's just not worth it. And I use this, I think it's 18 gauge bell wire for running grounds and stuff. This I'd use for neutral, and this I will turn down to bare wire if I need it, and keep the other stuff for sleeving. So this is where I'm at with this thing, and I hate advertising, but you know, these were not my biggest fan, you know, not the biggest fan. I actually like the green colored ones better, but the other ones that I really like that seem to work are these babies right here. These remind me of the governor of Minnesota for some reason. I don't know, just something about these kind here, and they do work better. You can tell by how many are gone, right? I think they're like in every guy's bathroom, I think, these babies right here. Yeah, these are the good ones. So if it doesn't say that, you're just getting that. So moving on, I'm going to put this thing on pause. I'm going to install that 3+1 on there, 3 blanks and 1 grounding one. All things do go to this ground, or this so-called neutral. So this is just a reminder of what I'm doing. So when it comes down to it, and I did get when I did get voltage, I got 196. Then I got 218. Then it dropped. Actually, it was this. One time when I turned it on, it stayed at this. And then I gave it a rest, and I brought it back up, and then it was down to this. So what I want to do, what I wanted to do was, so on this thing here, I'll just scratch it with a screwdriver, a flat, older screwdrivers. It'll clean up really well. Sometimes I'll take a rat tail file, real fine one, and clean out these centered areas if I want to push something through there. Like I'd do that with output transformers, put the audio output transformer leads into here, and then use your speaker wiring up here, which makes for a better situation if you're going to be disconnecting wires for some reason. So here's this thing here. I drew it out because I was concerned. I remember one of the YouTubers saying this thing's got to be gone, or that thing might be gone. And I remembered that, and I was surprised to see that triode. I thought it was going to at least be the pentode side. Where is it? I didn't draw it. Yeah, my computer quit working. My computer crashed. So anyways, I got this going on. They got a something going on like that. Mine is not like this. Mine has a capacitor from this. Actually, that's the other. That's the other one. Yeah, that's on Emerson. So I shouldn't say that. So this has that probably. If I go from one side of the AC to the case, I should see 1,000 ohms or 100,000 ohms. 1,000 ohms would be way too small amount. So I got this drawn out. That's what they have. So I have a 47 here and a 47 here. Microfarads at a 450 volts. I think I bought a bunch of those, and then I have the 82 microfarads at 450 there, and because that's what I have. And this 18K, I have to check that, find it, and check it. I'm going to be placing an order, so I'll probably get these in 3 or 5 watts, depending on where it's stuffed in here. I don't know where it's stuffed, so I'm going to try to score that much voltage, but it should be actually be over, because this was rated for 117 volts. I didn't write it down. This is rated for 117 volts, so it will be high, obviously. So I should at least get that at a minimum. 110 there. So I will pause this and mount this, clean it, scrape it, and then then mount it. Looks like so. What I noticed about my guitar building and stuff, I'm not saying this is from, yeah, I think this is actually from something I built and tore apart. But using my soldering paste, it has a tendency to put rust, especially on where I add 2 pieces of wire and sleeve it. After I tear stuff apart and see where I lengthen the wire, I see corrosion and stuff down there. So I don't know. I'm either using too much soldering paste, or I probably shouldn't even be using it. But I like a good, fast, hot connection and get it done situation. So I will pause this for now. Okay, this is the capacitor area that I got really hot. So I don't know if I'm going to improve this. I will sleeve it. This is kind of just pressed in there. This is that 6AU. This is the damper tube. This is hooked up to an unused pin on the damper. And this side here goes to a connection down here that's tied to this wax capacitor. This wax capacitor has to be replaced. So that's why these are just kind of laid there and soldered to keep them in place. But now I have negative going this way towards my finger and positive this way to the damper, and then it goes up to wherever it goes to. I don't really know right now. I think this is the top side of the voltage doubler, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just piecing this back together so I can move on and put it away for a while. I took it apart about a year and a half, actually over probably a couple of years ago, and I'm just putting it back together. I thought, well, I either got to put it together or I'm going to forget how things go, and I thought I already did. Here's probably that 18K. Nice and handy. So, okay, I'll measure that before I park it. Okay, moving on. So I'll just sit here and scrape this probably with this screwdriver. This one actually ain't that great for it, but I'm going to use it. I have better ones that are sharper. The ones that are really worn out, that are worn thin, they work the best. But this is many years old too. Miles on it anyways. Back on here. I cleaned her up the best I could. I'm not going to wire wheel it or nothing. I just scraped it with the screwdriver. It's good enough. I'll solder towards the top there. Maybe. So this is going to cover this one. I have I think a 22 at 350 volts. I think I have I have an 82 microfarads at 450 volts, so I believe it is. And this, I have one of these with this too, but I don't know which one it is. I thought it was this one because this should be the can of the capacitor. But when I put that other capacitor in backwards, I thought I was putting it here, but apparently I was putting it here, and I put I don't know. It's just you don't see nothing. It's just wires that travel. Where this rectifier bit is, I have that hanging by hair too. So this is where I'm putting this in. Right here, these are all. I marked them and extended the wires last night, so I do get the B plus, but I think I have to clip that capacitor on the plate of the audio output, that triode, and I marked these things. I didn't even know which ones were what last night. Where is the rectifier? So here's the rectifier right here that I got in. So I got this one. This rectifier goes to ground, and this one here obviously is the top side, and this is the goes to this AC. So the wires that I hooked up at that other end is just something like this. But there was one that was pink, so I forgot about that. And these parts, I didn't know if they were for a higher voltage or not because it came out of this thing. I decided to tear this thing apart. I didn't really want to, but I decided to. And that's where the diodes come from. So I don't know. They seem like they work, but that's obviously got high voltage for the transmitting tube and the whole transmitter of that thing is vacuum tubes, and the receiver is solid state. So I'll still putzy with the receiver, but there was a problem with it when you squeeze the microphone and stuff. There was a problem with it, and I didn't want to keep pursuing it because I have better interest, and I have those other 2 meter boat anchors, I guess they call it. So I will try to get this installed quickly and plug it back in. I should test this too. Get my tube tester out and test it. Okay, turn it back on for a bit here. This 25 volt thing back here, I'm probably not going to hook up. But I got this hooked up here to here right now, the red wire. This is red also. Moving on, I have 2 more capacitors to put in, then solder the negative. I got this one. 5 microfarads, I think I have this one. 22, that's going next. Okay, on this style capacitor, the wire broke real easy. So I lost a big chunk of it. So this style capacitor, the wire isn't that great. It looks nice and heavy, but it broke really easy. Okay, I have to check everything here, make sure this is okay. This stuff is going to be redone. So this is the voltage doubler parts, speaker wires. I'd like to get this capacitor changed. Is it this one? This one, I think there was 2 of them that the speaker will cover. The speaker is held in at the magnet. Vertical. This is vertical, I think. And other things. I think I wrote down a 5U8. I wasn't thinking because that's what they had in it. It's 6.3 volts, obviously. So I have to verify, make sure they're 6.3 volt filaments here instead of a 5U8. I'm pretty sure I solved that problem. I caught it. Otherwise, that still says 5U8 though. I wrote that. I wasn't paying attention evidently. So that's I will hook a speaker up to this. I'm going to plug it in shortly. I'm just kind of done with the weather, so I'm just sitting here doing this. Covering from some damn foolish thing. Cold. Stupid cold. So these are all in here. This is the 82. This is the grounding one. It's not totally grounded by this, and I did put Vaseline on the connections. It's kind of a pain to get that bolt through there because the other electrolytic was right down below there. So that was kind of, I had to use some trickery to get that nut on it. So she's ready to go, I believe. I should probably get the B plus off of all these just for shits and giggles. Before I turn it on, I have to find this capacitor and snip it at the plate side. Okay, I think I found it right here. Blue wire, the plate. The problem maybe with these things when they oscillate, this plate wire runs a long ways. I don't even know where the output transformer is right now. It's lost. I think it's down here towards the video. There's these peaking coils. I think the audio output transformer is like way down here. So if this wire had a hole drilled here, put the plate wire above and run it along this way or wherever it goes. Wherever it goes, it's traveling to the right. It goes, I think, all the way down to the end. I don't know where it really goes, but it travels a long ways, I think. Way too far for the plate wire. Back on here, this blue wire here is still the plate wire. So that plate wire is traveling a long ways. It travels from here to the plate of the triode, up in this corner, then it comes around here and it starts traveling down here. It's way too far. That should be in a shielded sleeve at least. It should be shielded. Okay, I'm all ready to go with it. The voltage doubler here stuff, I guess it looks okay. This is ground, this is the center, this is the top side, and this is to the center. All the capacitors are obviously right here. I believe I snipped that out. Got this speaker hooked up to it. I just gotta plug it in, get my meter hooked up. I'm gonna obviously try to check this one and this one. So that would be the 82 microfarad capacitor and the 22 microfarad capacitor that I put in. Okay, I'm gonna test it now. I believe I have the volume all the way up. I don't believe we're gonna have sound. Here's the speakers. I'm hooked up. I got white for neutral to the chassis. I got obviously using black. I don't know where my red ones are. They're tied up. I can't see them right now. But as I get bravery, I will start touching those independently. So I'll turn this on. We're at a 1,000 volts. So I'll plug her in and see what happens here. Got to be ready to unplug it also. I learned this by using grinders. Got to be ready to unplug your grinder. So now I have that capacitor pop from the plate of the triode of this thing right here. That one right there, 0.00, but we're still below 200 volts. It's supposed to be like 210, 16. We're below. So something's pulling a load on it. I checked that fuse. I got a 1 amp fuse. It's supposed to have a 1/4 amp fuse for the for the flyback section of it. So we're at 196 volts. I would rather see it over 200, but you get what you get. I don't hear no vertical. Let me mute my TV here. No picture. Nothing. I'm not sure what I hear. Let me feel this. Sometimes I can feel. So I can feel the vibration here, like 60 cycle. Where's that? Last night I forgot to put one of the capacitors in, that one that I had to put in back, that I put in backwards, and boy, did we have a loud shaking out of there, real bad hum. So I'm gonna disconnect this and check all these. One of them should be the 22 should be I think the 110 volts or something. I'll check. Okay, I pulled the cap off the plate here. Oops, it's touching. I gotta put something in between there. So I smell that high voltage smell. So I'm going to put something to separate that, a piece of plastic or something. Okay, I have a peanut butter lid holding it back. I couldn't find a smaller one. I use those for when I'm cooking and stuff. Okay, we're gonna check this out really quick. I'll just turn this on. Well, I have to plug this in. Okay, I don't know which one's which. This is the one I was on. I got to get out for a walk. I've been sick with the flu or a cold. Something. I got 253 volts without the 60 Q6 or whatever it is, the flyback tube. That scared me. I seen that orange down there. It's a damper tube. So okay, I got a whole bunch of extra voltage here with the flyback disconnected. So I must have been raising hell with the flyback transformer. That might have been that smell I was smelling. Okay, so we got that going. Okay, so this 82 microfarads, we got a 253 volts. What the hell is that? The 80 right here, 253 volts right here. So on the other side, the 18K, I don't know where that adds. I'm just assuming it's going to be, it was the triangle, what does that say, 5 microfarads. So that will be this spot right here, wherever it's at, this orange wire. That will be after the 18K, so it's 133 volts. I'd love to find a control grid of that triode. I think I can flip this around and find it. I flipped this around and got this on the behind side. I think that's it's a 20 microfarads at, I called it yellow, at 25 volts, so I figured it was for the cathode biasing of this. But this, I marked that like, a long time ago, a couple years ago. So I'm going to find this control grid at the volume control. Let's actually move this thing. Yeah, no, some shit is dead. This thing's dead as Halloween. Okay, right here, orange wire. We got 133 volts. That's the 22 microfarad, formerly of the 5 microfarad. The other spot is the 82 microfarads, which is the square. 254 volts. This other one is voltage doubler. This one's voltage doubler. So this is supposedly the 5 microfarad, and that's the 82. But we got a 22 there. I have a 4.7, but I'm saving the 4.7 because I'll probably use the 4.7. I'll shine on that in a moment. Okay, the plate is right here. Where is it? So this is supposed to take a quarter watt. I put a 1 amp in there. Watt amp. Here's that capacitor I snipped out the plate. The blue wire from the plate, the triode's right here, I think. It scoots all the way down here, around here. It's still scooting this blue wire here. It's still scooting to wherever the audio output transformer is. I don't know where it is right now. I'm not going to hook a meter up to the plate, even though it's a triode. I'm afraid of dangerous voltage, sort of like a horizontal output or vertical output or something. That can be nasty stuff. So I'm not going to hook my meter up to it. It's not worth it. I'll find the other side of the output transformer. I don't know where it's at. Here's that 18K, so that's got to be good. And this is the one I put in backwards. I put negative that way. I put positive this way because this was the pink wire down there. that went towards the electrolytic. I knew it was, so I figured it was positive, but then I wasn't sure, but I still put positive this way, and this thing got really hot. So eventually it would have exploded. It wasn't, when I first touched it, it wasn't that hot, but then as I'm going to remove it, the hot obviously came from the outside and towards the, from the center towards the outside. And the time I was taking this out, it's just side by side soldering there. This is looped a little bit, so we got to get the horizontal oscillator going, but I'm not doing that now. I got to get that Emerson going first, and I got other things. I'm more interested in this thing, getting this restuffed and stuff. I don't know what I'll do. I'm not sure. But I have this disconnected. I'm just going to wrap that up. There it is right there. So I gained a lot more B plus with that disconnected. But I never even verified because I never had the schematics on this thing. But I have the schematics of this thing on a thumb drive. But my computer went to the shits. But I figured out I can run my computer with a fan underneath it blowing through it. It has something to do with the video card, and if I plug it in to charge it, it won't charge, and also the cooling fans will not run on my computer. But I did discover if I put it would run for about a minute or two, then it would shut down and go into this crazy thing. Then I'd have to reboot it. But I've discovered if I put a fan underneath it, I could run the computer, and I got the files out of the computer onto my thumb drive, but I have to actually go back to the computer and get them on an SD card so I can plug into my tablet, and then I can look at the shit. I also got all these ICO capacitors I pulled out with it too. I want one of my ICO units to see if I have a schematic for it, and hopefully it's on the thumb drive. But I can look at the thumb drive, but to put it on the SD card, I'll pull it from the main hard drive so I get more accurate. I don't know how accurate stuff is, so I have to measure this. So I guess that's a green, a 5. What's a green? A 5? 515. So that's like a 15 meg. That resistor is a 15 meg. That's why I need the schematic. That could be. So your body, what the hell? And no, that's some other kind of capacitors. Body, green, brown, green, right? At 10%, yeah, probably 3 watts, 4 watts, 5 watts. Who knows what that thing is? It could be open. So what's this tube? This is supposed to be that 6AU something. 6AX. The hell does it say? What the hell do I write? I write totally incorrect things. I say totally incorrect things, so I might as well be writing them too. 6AX4. I better check on this baby. Make sure it's a cross-reference. I have to get this out of my computer first to check all the finer leads, but this thing's getting put away anyway, so I'll leave it at this. Orange Beginner's Corner, December 7th, 2025. My meter just shut off. This is it. I got to order me some orange wire. I have very little bit. I want solid core and better quality, better wire than this. This came from Antique Radio Supplies. Had it for a long time. I think this red come there from there too. That's usually why I order my stuff. I have to get some soldering paste, some solder, $1,000 worth of solder. What do you get, 10 feet for $1,000? Nowadays, probably, I wouldn't doubt it. Not that I'm going to do this much longer. I'm almost done with my situations here, and when I get done, then that's it. I ain't buying anymore. I got to quit buying crap. It's getting too much stuff, too much responsibility for nothing. Okay, this is it. But it's a fun hobby. I was interested at grade school and all the way through my school. When I turned into an adult and started drinking, then I lost interest in it. And then I quit drinking and smoking, and then I got the interest of it again. I do have to test this. I'm pretty sure I tested it, but I'll do it again. This is it. On the side.